The Masculinity Crisis, a generation of weak men. Welcome, viewers, to a thought-provoking discussion surrounding an issue that has been gaining traction in recent years. The masculinity crisis. In today's society, there seems to be a growing concern that men are becoming weaker and less resilient. This phenomenon, which some perceive as a threat to traditional gender roles, raises crucial questions about the societal pressures and cultural shifts that have shaped the evolving definition of masculinity. Throughout history, society has placed considerable emphasis on qualities associated with masculinity: strength, courage, emotional resilience, and leadership. However, in an age where traditional gender roles and expectations are being challenged and redefined, there is a growing sense that men are losing touch with these once intrinsic virtues. This has given rise to a polarized debate, sparking conversations across various platforms and calling for a deeper examination of the causes and implications of this perceived crisis. It is important to note that the term weak should not be misconstrued to denote any inherent qualities of men. Instead, it encapsulates the belief that modern society is fostering an environment where male individuals are experiencing significant challenges to their traditionally prescribed roles and identities. By examining this crisis, we aim to unravel the multifaceted dynamics underpinning this societal shift and delve into possible consequences and solutions. While some argue that the re-evaluation of men's roles is a necessary progression towards a more inclusive and equal society, others contend that the erosion of traditional masculinity yields dire consequences for individual well-being, relationships, and societal cohesion. This debate fuels a fascinating exploration of what it means to be a man in today's constantly evolving world. Before we embark on this meaningful journey to understand the complexities surrounding the masculinity crisis, we want to extend our gratitude to our viewers for joining us. Your engagement, comments, and ideas are fundamental to fostering meaningful dialogue around this often misunderstood subject. We encourage you to actively participate, sharing your perspectives and insights in the comments section or through our social media channels. Moreover, if you find value in the content we provide, we kindly request you to support and engage with our channel. Liking the video, subscribing to our channel, and sharing the discussion with others will enable us to continue exploring such thought-provoking topics and stimulating conversations, encouraging personal growth and a broader societal understanding. Now, with a shared commitment to the masculinity crisis, a generation of weak men. In the current climate of our society, there has been a surging dialogue taking place regarding gender and identity, centering specifically on the notion of masculinity. A controversial moniker has sprung forth from this discourse, depicting a metaphorical crisis, the masculinity crisis. Some believe our generation is producing men who are perceived as more weak physically, emotionally, and mentally than their predecessors, an argument which is deeply embedded in stereotypical traditional masculinities. However, the journey to comprehend this topic calls for us to delve into the layers and complexities of what it means to be a man, and how that definition has evolved and reshaped over time. The perception of weakness in men belonging to newer generations perhaps stems from changing societal norms and customs. The modern man, unlike his forefathers, is expected to share household chores, participate in his children's upbringing actively, express emotions, and approach strength, not as a physical attribute, but a psychological one. Such shifts violate the time-honored convention of the strong, stoic male figure standing as the sole breadwinner and protector. This fundamentally changes the dynamics of perceived masculinity. This weakness, therefore, is not inherent. It's a discord resulting from the shifting sands of societal expectation. Men are no longer defined by their physical prowess alone, but by their demonstration of emotional intelligence, empathy, and mental strength. As such, men today can feel dwarfed under the spotlight of changing societal expectation, feeling pressurized to both embody this evolved man while also towing the line of conventional masculinity. Another dimension to this crisis is the industrial and technological evolution. With the advent of machines and technology, physical strength and manual labor gradually become less critical in many sectors. The workplace started favoring cognitive skills over brawn, further evoking a feeling of displacement and weakness, at least on a superficial level, among men who were once defined by their physical strength and ability to engage in hard labor. That said, the concept of strength cannot be mired to the physical aspect alone, and its application, like everything else, has evolved. Today, it's more about mental resilience, emotional fortitude, humanity, empathy, integrity, factors that are as crucial, if not more, to manhood. Hence, it is imperative to question the very basis of this masculinity crisis. Perhaps what we are facing is not a generation of weak men, but a culture in turmoil, caught between archaic gender expectations and progressive egalitarian beliefs. The fulfilled man today looks much different than his earlier counterparts. He is communicative, nurturing, sensitive yet resilient, empathetic yet assertive. He is someone who can cry, express fear, show love openly, and is not immune to feeling vulnerable. To modernize our perception of strength, we need to allow space for this more comprehensive view of manhood. Communication seems to be the key here. By fostering open dialogue about the struggle to redefine male identity, we can hopefully remove the stigma surrounding this perceived weakness and redefine masculinity's metric. After all, strength should not be looked upon imperatively as a physical trait, but as resilience in character, openness to expressions, and balanced mental independence. In the end, it can be reasoned that the masculinity crisis is not so much about weak men. It's more of a crisis of understanding, acceptance, and evolution. The modern man is not weak. He is simply different, carrying a more comprehensive definition of strength that transcends traditional perceptions. As we conclude this deep dive into the masculinity crisis, we hope that it has triggered some thoughts on how we perceive manliness today. Thank you for watching and engaging in this compelling discussion. We encourage you all to not just passively soak in the information, but to voice your opinions, perspectives, and experiences in the comment section. Please consider liking and subscribing to our channel, and feel free to share this video with those who might find this conversation meaningful. We appreciate your time and participation, and we look forward to bringing you more thought-provoking discussions on our channel. Remember, your engagement journey doesn't end here. It's just the beginning. Title: The Masculinity Crisis: Nurturing Strong Men in a Changing World. Introduction. In a world undergoing rapid transformations, societal norms and traditional gender roles have been subjected to intense scrutiny. Among these debates, the concept of masculinity has emerged as a topic of great discussion and concern. Critics argue that the modern era has witnessed a rise in weak and fragile men, often attributing this phenomenon to various factors such as changing gender dynamics, the impact of technology, and evolving cultural expectations. In this article, we will explore the notion of a masculinity crisis, its implications, and propose ways to nurture strong men in today's complex world. The changing landscape of masculinity. Traditionally, masculinity has been associated with traits such as physical strength, emotional resilience, and assertiveness. However, with the advancement of gender equality and a shift towards more inclusive ideologies, traditional ideas of masculinity have been challenged. Today, the definition of masculinity is far more diverse, encompassing a broader spectrum of behaviors and characteristics. While this expansion of masculinity is undoubtedly positive, it has also exposed a generation of men to newfound confusion and uncertainty. The rise of weakness. The emergence of weak men, as described by some, is not a reflection of inherent flaws within men themselves, but rather a consequence of the changing environment around them. The Industrial Revolution and subsequent technological advancements have reshaped the demands of the modern workplace, prioritizing intellectual capabilities over physical strength. Men who were once valued for their physical prowess now find themselves grappling with self-doubt and insecurity in a society that appreciates more nuanced skills. Moreover, the changing dynamics of relationships and family structures have challenged traditional gender roles, presenting men with new expectations. While the progress towards gender equality is commendable, it has inadvertently added pressure on men to redefine their roles, often leading to a sense of confusion and a search for identity. The role of cultural expectations. Cultural expectations also play a significant role in shaping men's behavior and ideals of masculinity. Society often imposes restrictions on men, insisting they embody stoicism, emotional detachment, and an invulnerable demeanor. Such pressures can create an emotional vacuum, inhibiting men from seeking help or expressing vulnerabilities. Consequently, many men find themselves struggling silently, leading to the manifestation of various mental health issues. Nurturing strong men in a changing world, instead of perpetuating stereotypes and generating further division, it is imperative that we embrace a path that empowers men to grow and thrive in this evolving landscape. Here are a few suggestions to foster strength and resilience among men. Encouraging emotional intelligence. Breaking free from the shackles of stoicism, we need to destigmatize emotions in men and promote emotional intelligence. Men must be supported in embracing a fuller range of emotions and skillfully managing them. Challenging traditional gender roles. We must continue to advocate for gender equality while simultaneously debunking societal expectations placed on men. By creating inclusive spaces, we can liberate men from outdated conceptions and enable them to explore their individuality. Promoting mental health awareness. Breaking the stigma surrounding mental health is crucial for the well-being of both men and women. Educating society about the importance of seeking help and providing accessible resources will significantly contribute to nurturing a generation of mentally resilient men. In conclusion, in a world rapidly evolving, the concept of masculinity finds itself at a crossroads. The emergence of weak men is not necessarily a crisis, but rather a crucial indication that change is needed. By challenging traditional gender roles, promoting emotional intelligence, and advocating for mental health, we can create an environment where men feel confident, empowered, and free to express themselves authentically. Embracing diversity and fostering understanding will pave the way for a new era of masculinity that is strong, compassionate, and inclusive. Thank you for taking the time to read this article, and we encourage you to leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments section below. We also invite you to like, subscribe, and share our content to continue engaging in important discussions like these. Together, we can shape a future that benefits everyone.